I'd like to ask you, Matt Brodnik, what is the biggest risk?
I think, I've been harping on tenant demand all this time, and as I mentioned, tenant demand hasn't disappeared. It's still there. We talked about demand kind of reverting to the mean, and right now, I'd say demand is fallen below the mean a little bit, which is expected. Tenants leased a lot of space in 21 and 22, leased more than it turns out they may need now, but they're not giving it back. They still need it. And I think what happens in recession, which we haven't seen. We're not in a recession right now, and there's talk right now with the Fed that there's this whole idea of a soft landing. Employment's near 100% here. We still have economic strength and growth, and as long as we do, tenants are going to need space. And I think the biggest risk for us right now is recession and tenants actually giving space back like they did during the global financial crisis, and that demand disappearing. And I think then it's that's the big concern. That demand going, really, falling through. And we talk about it. If you talk to an office investor in 2021 during the pandemic, they didn't forecast that this whole return to work thing would, or this work from home thing would last for 4 years. They didn't even see it as a risk at all. So I think and that's what's killed the office world, right? Is that tenant demand is completely disappearing, and not just disappeared, but they're actively giving space back. It's going backwards. So that's the risk we see is this whole interest rate environment. Maybe there's another black swan event, something to happen. Obviously, we talked about it as a black swan event. You can't predict what it is, but it seems like war between Russia and Ukraine and Israel and everything going on in the world. That is a real risk that something else comes and there's another shock to the system. So that tenant demand, that's the thing that we sit up at night thinking about and focused on.